Why? Because it matters. Mattress Warehouse. Because it all matters.
Over 30 queen mattresses for less than $799.
Tonight, the president walks out. The high-stakes meeting in the Situation Room lasting just minutes late today. What was said in that room, what we've learned tonight, the shutdown reaching day 19, hundreds of thousands of American workers will not get their paychecks. The violent arrest here in New York City, the mayor breaking his silence. Tonight, the investigation, what led to this moment. The urgent manhunt, the armored car guard who disappeared, and so did $850,000. Police tonight warning he is armed and dangerous, and where this happened. The winter weather alert tonight, a major storm forming. Could the East get hit with a winter storm? Rob has the new track. The man who has been overseeing the Mueller investigation is now on the way out. Rod Rosenstein planning to leave. Today, our correspondent asking the president's new pick for AG, will he protect the Mueller probe? What he said. New developments tonight involving R. Kelly after that docuseries and the disturbing allegations. Authorities visiting his recording studio. The woman seen on surveillance. At first, police were told she stole the car and a baby inside. But tonight, what police are now saying about the baby's father, the woman getting into that car, and this question, where is the baby? The divorce making news. He's worth a reported $137 billion. And now Jeff Bezos is getting divorced. His own message tonight about it all. And the man charged with stealing his roommate's scratch-off ticket, worth $10 million.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a very busy Wednesday night. We have several developing stories, but we're going to begin with that clash at the White House late today. The president addressing the nation last night from the Oval Office, making the case for his border wall and the $5.7 billion in U.S. taxpayer money he wants for it. He had said Mexico would pay for it. But late today, after his trip to Capitol Hill, a meeting in the Situation Room at the White House with Democratic leaders, and when Nancy Pelosi said no money for the wall, he said bye-bye, got up, and left. The meeting lasting just 14 minutes. All of this with the shutdown now reaching day 19, and 800,000 workers will not get paid this week. And the president telling our Jonathan Karl the vast majority of those workers are on his side.
Total breakdown. Democrats emerged from the White House tonight saying President Trump demanded money for the border wall and stormed out when they wouldn't agree to it.
It's cold out here, and the temperature wasn't much warmer in the Situation Room. Our meeting did not last long. In a matter of hours or just a few days, many federal workers will not be receiving their paychecks, and what that means in their lives is tragic in terms of their credit rating, paying their mortgage, paying their rent. The president seems to be insensitive to that. He thinks maybe they could just ask their father for more money, but they can't.
He asked Speaker Pelosi, will you agree to my wall? She said no. And he just got up and said, then we have nothing to discuss, and he just walked out. Again, we saw a temper tantrum because he couldn't get his way, and he just walked out of the meeting.
All told, the meeting lasted just 14 minutes.
Well, the president walked into the room and passed out candy. It's true.
Never raised his voice.
I don't recall him ever raising his voice or slamming his hand.
Earlier, we asked the president about the 800,000 federal workers caught in the crossfire.
Mr. President, what do you say to those federal workers, security guards, Secret Service agents, TSA agents, who are now going without pay?
I think they have been terrific. These are terrific patriots. A lot of them agree with what I'm doing.
But these people have to go without their paychecks. Some are being forced to work without pay. Some have been furloughed. These are
They all get the money. They're all going to get the money, and I think they're going to be happy.
Not everybody will get their back pay. Thousands of workers on government contracts could be out of luck. And tonight, several Republican senators, including Alaska's Lisa Murkowski, say the president should sign bills to open parts of the government not related to border security.
So why not sign the other bills, though, so some of these workers can get paid, the government
You think I should do that?
Yeah,
do you think I should do that, John?
Well, I mean, it's not for me to say that.
I watch your one-sided reporting. Do you think I should do that?
Hey,
John,
not
seriously,
my
John, do you think I should just sign?
Well, the argument has been made that you
me.
can sign these bills that have nothing to do with
John,
border security.
Do you think I should just sign?
And I'm saying that if you sign that, these workers can start getting paid. The government can start working.
So you would do that if you were in my position? You'd do that?
I'm not in your position. I'm asking you if that's something you would do.
I'm asking you, would you do that if you were in my position? If you would do that, you should never be in this position because you'd never get anything done.
All right, John Karl, we're glad you're in your position at the White House tonight. And John, Speaker Pelosi, when she walked out of the White House late today, she said Democrats are for border security, but she added saying, quote, what the president is claiming to be the situation at the border is not solved by a wall. So again, the president wants the wall that he promised during the campaign, and Democrats saying today, yet again, that he's not going to get it.
And you have a breakdown in talks. You have a total stalemate. The president again today said that he is considering a national emergency to try to bypass Congress and do it on his own. Asked what would trigger a decision to declare a national emergency, he said, if I could not get a deal. Well, now we see that a deal seems to be as far away as it has ever been, although I just asked a senior White House official who said there is still no decision on doing that yet, David.
And we cannot forget the hundreds of thousands of workers who won't get paid this week. John Karl, our thanks to you again tonight. We are going to turn now to a dramatic police takedown on a New York City street. Witnesses say two men lunged at police officers. Those officers then striking the men on that busy corner in broad daylight. The two men fighting back. Then undercover officers suddenly appear and it becomes an all-out brawl. The mayor calling the incident tonight troubling. ABC's Whit Johnson with what set this off.
Back up, let's go.
Tonight, this violent arrest prompting an NYPD investigation. Officers hitting two suspects repeatedly with batons. The wild melee in the middle of an intersection. Watch as one of the suspects actually chases after an officer. Several more officers in plain clothes rushing to assist, taking the man down. An officer cracking his baton on the suspect's head. Then more baton strikes while the man is on the ground. A witness who shot this video says the officers were defending themselves.
Two of them actually lunged at one of the officers. It's like he went for a tackle.
Police telling ABC News that before the video began, the men were harassing commuters on the stairs of a subway station. They say 36-year-old Aaron Grissom took a swing at one of the officers, and that 37-year-old Sidney Williams attacked when the other officer stepped in. And tonight, video surfacing of Grissom appearing to threaten police.
Keep me, police. I'm gonna show you what it is. These hands work.
The individuals involved, not the officers, the individuals involved were creating a real problem for neighborhood residents.
Whit Johnson with us live tonight. And Whit, while Mayor de Blasio called the images troubling, you're learning that the two suspects do have lengthy criminal histories?
David, that's right. Police say both men have been arrested multiple times before, including several alleged incidents of assaulting officers. David?
Whit Johnson with us live tonight. Whit, thank you. We turn next year to the nationwide manhunt at this hour for a suspect in an armored car robbery in Louisville, Kentucky. He's the guard for the truck. He's now missing, and so is $850,000 in cash. And they warn tonight he's armed and dangerous. Here's ABC's Steve Osunsami now.
The FBI tonight says that what happened in an armored truck outside this Louisville shopping mall was an inside job, and they've named the driver one of their most wanted. 29-year-old Mark Espinosa went missing last month while his partner was inside Jefferson Mall moving cash. When Espinosa disappeared, about $850,000 disappeared with him. The money was sitting in the truck. In radio calls from police, you hear them explain that the truck was still running.
The truck running along with the weapon in the vehicle.
Investigators now suspect that Espinosa left his weapons in the truck so he could get past airport security and fly away with the bags of cash.
At this time, we believe Mark Espinosa has taken steps to plan out this theft and has taken steps to cover up his planning.
They believe he's somewhere across the country counting the money.
Police are promising a $60,000 reward for any useful information and say that Espinosa should be considered armed and dangerous. David?
Steve Osunsami with us again tonight. And next this evening to the winter weather alerts from West Virginia all the way up to Maine. Lake effect snow already across the Northeast, and all eyes on a system in the west that could bring storms to the east this weekend. A driver skidding on an icy road in Auburn, Maine, slamming into that house there. Heavy snow near Watertown, New York. The lake effect machine kicking in, cars landing on the side of the road. And that system on the move I mentioned. Senior meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking it all tonight. Rob?
Hi, David. The wind's still ripping here in the Northeast across those unfrozen lakes. And as you mentioned, the lake effect snow machine is cranking. Winter storm warnings are posted all up and down the lakes into the mountains of the West Virginia area. Look at the wind chills in Chicago, 7. Feels like 12 in Detroit. Next storm up, hitting California now. That gets into Texas and the plains on Friday. Mostly rain there, but look at snows in St. Louis, Cincinnati, Saturday afternoon in D.C. It'll last through the weekend. Still early for details, but it is likely to be a significant winter storm this weekend. David?
All right, we'll be tracking it, Rob. Great to have you back. Next tonight, there are new developments involving R. Kelly after millions watched the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly that included disturbing claims. Prosecutors are now urging alleged victims to come forward tonight what they've revealed as police paid a visit to his recording studio last night. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis again tonight.
A rally tonight outside R. Kelly's recording studio in Chicago on the heels of a visit by police. Authorities found the studio vacant.
Black Girls Matter!
This as new calls are coming into law enforcement after an Illinois prosecutor asked for alleged victims of the singer to come forward.
We don't have the ability to deal in rumor and innuendo. We have to deal with facts and evidence.
All triggered by Lifetime's explosive docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, which included interviews with several women, including some who claimed to have had sex with Kelly when they were just teens. Angelo Clary says his daughter became involved with Kelly when she was 17, and he also claims that she's now being held by Kelly against her will. She says she's with him voluntarily.
That's not love. Everything he doing with you is nothing but poison.
Kelly's lawyers tell ABC News the claims in the series are nothing, and that if Mr. Kelly had done anything wrong, you would expect to hear facts, not the pitchfork posse, adding, as for the investigations, they will find nothing because he has done nothing wrong. Today in R. Kelly's hometown of Chicago, an editorial in the Chicago Sun-Times calling for radio stations to hashtag mute R. Kelly and stop playing his music for good. David.
Lindsay Davis on this again tonight. And from Washington this evening, word that the man overseeing the Robert Mueller investigation, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, will soon step down. Tonight, President Trump's new pick for AG up on the Hill, and our Pierre Thomas asking him how he assesses the job Rosenstein has done. That new AG also asked, will he protect the Mueller probe?
Tonight, word Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, the man who launched the special counsel Russia probe, is expected to leave the Justice Department as soon as the new Attorney General is confirmed. The president's nominee, William Barr, meeting with senators on Capitol Hill today.
How do you assess the job that Mr. Rosenstein has done?
Excellent. If he's confirmed, Barr will oversee the Russia investigation. Senators he met with today say Barr expressed deep respect for special counsel Robert Mueller.
I asked Mr. Barr directly, do you think Mr. Mueller's on a witch hunt? He said no. Are you committed to making sure Mr. Mueller can finish his job? Yes.
Senator Lindsey Graham says Barr told him he's confident Mueller would be, quote, fair to the president and to the country.
And Pierre, Rod Rosenstein's decision to resign soon is being seen by many as a sign that the Mueller investigation may be close to wrapping up.
That's right, David. Sources are telling me that Mueller is in the final stages of the Russia investigation, and my sources say they do not believe Rosenstein would leave unless he felt that Mueller was in good shape and near completion, David.
Pierre Thomas on this again tonight. Thank you, Pierre. A former commander of the U.S. Navy base at Guantanamo Bay has been charged with obstruction of justice in the mysterious death of a civilian worker at the base. Captain John Nettleton was removed from command after the body of Christopher Turr was found in the water in 2015. Nettleton is now accused of failing to tell investigators that he fought with Turr and that he was having an affair with Turr's wife. But authorities say he is not charged in the man's death. Next, the richest couple in the world is calling it quits. Amazon chief Jeff Bezos and his wife Mackenzie are divorcing after 25 years. They got married before Bezos founded Amazon and his other businesses. They issued a public statement today on Twitter, and their divorce settlement could set a record. Here's Eva Pilgrim.
Tonight, the world's richest couple calling it quits. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos and his wife Mackenzie announcing the surprise split on Twitter. After a long period of loving exploration and trial separation, we have decided to divorce and continue our shared lives as friends. But no word as to what happens to Bezos' estimated $137 billion fortune.
This is going to be one of the biggest ticket divorces ever.
The two have been married for 25 years and have 4 children. They met in the early 90s while both were working at a New York-based hedge fund, soon marrying and moving to Seattle, renting a 1-bedroom apartment as Bezos launched Amazon. They are now one of America's largest property owners.
It is in both of their interests to try to keep this as